Hi, welcome to this Gateway House weekly briefing podcast with Ambassador Neelam Deo. Neelam, what are the important highlights, geopolitical highlights from India over the last week?
Well, of course, in India, we are all consumed with waiting for the budget to be announced next week. There's a lot of speculation on what would be new in this budget. From all the indications from the government, it would appear that fiscal consolidation is high on the priorities of the government. But of course, it can't only do fiscal consolidation having just come in. It has to take measures which will promote growth and from also those measures which would attract continuing FII investment in the stocks and a higher FDI rate to compensate for the fact that oil prices have already gone up and our deficit would otherwise widen. The other issue that has absorbed the nation in tragic ways is of the hostages in Iraq, allegedly held by the Islamic State. Fortunately, the 40 nurses who had been moved from Tikrit to Mosul have now been released. And I think there is much to commend the government for the work it has done quietly with those influential, with organizations like the IS in obtaining their safe release. We hope that the 40 or so laborers who were captured even earlier will also be able to come home shortly.
Also, this week, Hamid Ansari, Vice-President Hamid Ansari visited China for the Panchsheel agreement.
Let's do from here itself, let's do Iraq and then do the others.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. You'll be able to edit this, right?
No, I can't. So you can.
Okay.
Do you want to do this again?
Yeah, before we go on to China, I just wanted to add that events in Iraq are moving really rapidly, and everyone has been taken by surprise at the speed with which this caliphate was established by the ISIS. But it's probably not going to be able to expand any further because the areas that it does dominate now are Sunni-dominated areas, and it does not have any support. In fact, it will face strong opposition in the Shia-dominated areas, and the Kurdish enclave seems well protected and seems confident to be able to withstand any sort of insurgencies. In the meanwhile, there has been a move which is interesting because the Russians have very rapidly provided Sukhoi aircraft, something that the Iraqi government is desperate to have in order to take on the rebel groups. It is reported that the UK may also be trying to send some fighter jets quickly. Unfortunately, the process in the United States for supplying arms is long, it's complicated, and it does seem snarled at the moment. So there will be some shifting in who is the more influential big power with the Iraqi government.
Okay. Then, of course, this week, Vice-President Hamid Ansari visited China for the Panchsheel 60-year commemoration. Can you give us your analysis on this?
Well, the stories going around are that this visit by Vice-President Hamid Ansari was a visit sought by the Chinese who wanted a high-level visitor before Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Japan. There's no confirmation of this, of course, but Hamid Ansari participated in the 60th anniversary of the celebrations of Panchsheel. You would think that such an anniversary would be preceded and succeeded by peace and more harmony, but in fact what we had was an incursion in the shared Panglong Lake. It would seem that China is itself perhaps torn a little bit between wanting to advance an agenda of political good equations, economic expansion, but also an assertion that it will not back off from any of the territorial claims that it makes, whether it is on land with China or it is on sea with its neighbors.
Okay. Thank you very much, Neelam.
Thank you.